Power BI introduction. Agenda of this session is what is business intelligence? What are the different stages of business intelligence? BI use cases, some various BI tools, why we need the Power BI, and then final introduction of the Power BI, what we can do with the Power BI and how many components we have in the Power BI. Apart from that, we'll be learning Power BI components and how many types of licenses we have in the Power BI, building blocks in the Power BI, and the architecture of Power BI, Power BI desktop, which is nothing but it's our development application, and the installation process of Power BI desktop. And then we'll be looking like how we create the reports in the Power BI, right? All right, so fine. Now let's start with it. What is business intelligence? Whether you are from any data analytics field or you are from any technical or non-technical field, Power BI is the right choice for all of you. If you are coming from the technical side, then it would be easy for you because you are already aware with some few terms and the database related things and the SQL. But it doesn't mean like a non-technical person or a business user cannot learn it. It's very easy. The UI, the interface of Power BI is very user friendly. If you have just a basic knowledge of Excel, then it means you will be having an edge when you will be learning the Power BI. So business intelligence is nothing but it's a set of processes, right? When I say set of processes means there are some set of tools and techniques which we use to gather the data from multiple data sources. And after getting the data from multiple data sources, on top of that, we do some data blending. Like we transform the data, we replace some data, we remove some data, we make some joins, some conditions, new columns, new calculations we create on top of the data. After doing all these things, then finally we start for the visualization, for designing the reports, where we add different visuals from the Power BI and we make a beautiful and attractive report in the Power BI, right? So basically this whole process, all these approaches like data transformation to data visualization, all these are nothing but these are the process, these are the approaches which we use in order to transform the data into a useful information, right? There are different stages in the business intelligence, right? In short, we can call it BI, right? So we have four main stages in the business intelligence. One is collection of the data, cleansing of the data, and reporting, or we can say the visualization of the data, and decision making or prediction of the on top of the data. So all Power BI or any BI development basically works around all these four stages. When we say collection, in the collection, basically, we will be collecting the data from various data sources. Your data could be stored in some databases, ERP applications, CRM systems, Excel, or cloud databases, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Power BI is having more than 100 plus data sources from where you can extract the data in Power BI. After collecting the data, next step comes, that is data cleansing. We have the data now on top of it. Now we want to clean it because sometimes you will be dealing with unstructured data, right? When you will be getting some blanks, some errors in your data, there will not be some relations within the tables within your Excel sheets. So there won't be multiple cases. So considering all these scenarios, you do the data cleansing. In the data cleansing, you make sure that you have removed the unnecessary data from your data model, right? Then further we do data visualization or the reporting. So once we say now my data is cleaned and it's in a structured format, now on top of it, I can do a visualization. The visualization is a backbone, I can say, and it's a final presentation layer of all of your effort, because this is something like which will be presented to the report viewers. Report viewers could be your managers, directors, senior management, CEO, CFO, anyone, right? So it doesn't matter like how much effort you have put in data cleansing and data collection, because for them, at the end of the day, your data visualization will matter. Next, we have the stage that is decision making. So after viewing the reports, after viewing those visualization, the last stage is making business decision. So once you are viewing the report, let's say for example you created any report and that report is showing the current year progress over the last year sales. right? So accordingly, you can take the decisions, right? What you need to plan for the next coming financial year. Okay, so all these things basically you do in the last stage, which you use, and in the fourth stage you use the previous, I mean the third stage, right? So if your third stage is not good, then you won't be able to take the better decision. So all these stages are interlinked with each other. There are a lot of use cases around us for the business intelligence, right? Or I can say BI, business intelligence, is everywhere. Whether you are doing the performance management, you are doing the financial analysis, or you are doing any educational, in the educational sector also, it play a very important role. Next, let's say data semantics. Data semantics made use of Power BI for the sales reporting, sales predictions, sales forecasting, and there are a lot of scenarios like where you are doing the comparison of your budget versus actuals, target versus actuals, right? There are a lot of scenarios where you use the business intelligence tools. This is just an example, right, of the data semantics. This is nothing but it's just like a sample we have, and this is a Power BI dashboard. In this dashboard, we can see a lot of visuals, a lot of tiles have been used to present the information in a very nice manner, right? So such kind of dashboards basically we can create in the Power BI. Another example we are taking from Dell, and this is another sample of the dashboard. In this dashboard, we are showing the performance of the school district wise, how many students enrolled in different courses, what are the students grade, enrollment, school types. There are a lot of information we are just showing about the education department. So it doesn't mean like for any particular department, for any particular domain we have the BI. No, whether you are coming from or whether you are using the BI from, let's say, in sales department, in finance department, in procurement, warehouse, anywhere, right? BI is everywhere. Wherever you have the data, you can fit BI there, right? Because for business intelligence, what you need? Data. All right. In market, there are a lot of BI tools available like ClickView, or we can say ClickSense, Power BI, Tableau, and Zoho Analytics. So these few are the market champions. And if I just say out of these also, then I would say like these three are the market leaders. And as per the Gartner's a magic quadrant for business intelligence segment, they determined Power BI is the market leader in the business intelligence categories, right? Following the Tableau and the ClickView, ClickSense. Okay, so Power BI is the leader in the business intelligence market right now, and it has been recognized by Gartner. You can just check it out. Why Power BI? That is important to know. There are multiple reasons behind the Power BI, why Power BI is gaining so much popularity in the market over the other BI tools. The first reason is affordability. Power BI, because at the end of the day, for organization, cost matter, right? So Power BI is not very expensive tool. It comes under a good budget, right? So if any startup organization or any enterprise level of organization wants to use Power BI, then Power BI comes with a lot of licensing models, right? So which makes them very flexible to choose the Power BI depending on your need. So doesn't mean like if you have only 5 users who will be using the Power BI and you have to invest a lot of money. No, whatever you want, just pay only for that. So that's why the affordability is the main reason like organizations are using, and they have started migrating their projects or their applications from other tools into the Power BI. Another reason of the Power BI is natural language query. Power BI is having a support of the natural language query, means you can just write a question. Power BI will understand your questions, and after understanding your question, it will do some internal processing based on its pre-written algorithms, and then it will present the information in the visualization format. For example, you have a data set, and on top of the data set, you want to see what is the total sales by product category. So you don't need to do anything. Just write this question right into a question box, and Power BI will understand your question and will give you the information in a bar chart, pie chart, donut chart, table, matrix, whatever you want, right? So that's the good feature here. Even a non-technical person also, if you want to do any ad hoc analysis, right? For doing the ad hoc analysis, this natural language query option play a very important role. Another benefit is real-time streaming. Real-time streaming is nowadays in very demand. It's in uh, everybody wants to see the near real-time analytics, right? So the reason is because if you have some applications like any ERP system, if you are using like SAP or Oracle apps or Microsoft Dynamics 365, Business Central or Operations, right, whatever, or if you are using the Salesforce or any Microsoft CRM or maybe any other application, everybody wants to see the real-time data, real-time information, right? So in Power BI, we can create the real-time data sets, and based on that, you can see real-time information. You don't need to wait for 2 hours or 4 hours for getting the data, getting the reports. It's quick, very quick. Another benefit is custom visualization. In Power BI, you are not restricted to use only some set of visuals, right? You have n number of visualizations, and the list is continuously increasing, right? So you have n number of visualization, whatever you want. If you want to use any predictive analysis, you want to do any forecasting, or if you want to use some R or Python visuals, if you want to do some some different filters, slicers, if you want to use, then there is not any limit. Any visual you can use in the Power BI. And the good thing is all the custom visuals are free. You don't need to pay anything to Microsoft or not to any other third-party company. All the visuals are free with the Power BI. All right. So in the real-time streaming, basically, we have one more benefit. Like, for example, if you have any real-time streaming data set, like stock market data, and if you want to see that stock market data on near real-time, then you can just you can just get the data in your dashboard, and your dashboard will be fluctuating. I mean, like the data values going up and down on real-time basis. All right. Now, introduction to Power BI. So far, we were just discussing about the business intelligence and what are the different tools we have in the market, and what are their features which makes Power BI as a different BI tool. So Power BI again is a business intelligence. It's a Microsoft product which comes as a complete BI suite, right? So within this suite, it comes with a lot of advanced data analytical benefits, a lot of high and attractive visualization benefits, and all the features are free because these features you can access easily within the Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop is a free application from Microsoft. You don't need to pay anything for it. In Power BI, you can do the data collection from multiple data sources. Then you transform the data, you model your data according to your need, you prepare the data visualization, and then finally, you share your reports on the dashboards with the business users or with your colleagues. So that's a complete life cycle of a Power BI project or any Power BI report. There are multiple components for the Power BI, like Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, Power BI Data Gateway, Power BI Report Server, Power BI Mobile App, Power BI Publisher, Report Builder, and Embedded Power BI. So with using these 8 tools, everything we can achieve. Whether if you want to do a data refresh, that we can easily do with the help of Data Gateway. If you want to integrate the Power BI with Excel, that we can do with the Excel Publisher. So there are n number of opportunities we have where we can use the Power BI with any other tools as well using this Power BI embedded feature. This feature makes the Power BI very flexible tool. Means if you have created any Power BI report or any Power BI dashboard and you want to integrate that in any other application, right? Then easily you can embed it, you can integrate it any other application. For example, if your organization is using Microsoft CRM, easily you can integrate the Power BI reports within the Microsoft CRM screen. Means your users should not go on a separate page or they don't need to log in somewhere else. Within that CRM screen, they'll be able to see the Power BI dashboard. Same applies to the SharePoint, Microsoft 365, Business Central, Navision, Exapta, any of the Microsoft tool you can link it. And the good thing is like it can be easily integrated with Microsoft Teams as well, right? So Power BI Desktop is a free application which we use for doing the development of Power BI reports and the data models. Power BI service is cloud-based application, or we can say it's a SaaS application. SaaS means software as a service. Means we'll be just using it. We don't need to maintain it. We don't need to do any upgradation or any other activity, because everything will be managed by Microsoft. We'll be just paying a very minimal amount to the Microsoft for using this application for accessing the reports. So in short, Power BI Desktop is a development tool, and the Power BI service is a report access interface. From here, we will access the report, we will share the reports, and there are n number of features which we can use from the Power BI service. Okay, so Power BI Desktop is free. Power BI service is license based. Power BI Data Gateway is again a free tool from Microsoft which helps us to schedule the data refresh in our reports. For example, you want to refresh the data in your reports after every 30 minutes. So with the help of Power BI Gateway, easily you can do that. Another tool we have, Power BI Report Server. This is nothing but it's an on-premises solution of the Power BI, right? Like Power BI service is a cloud solution, but Power BI Report Server is an on-premises solution, because some organizations don't want to put their data on the cloud. For example, if there is any government company, any government agency, financial institutions, banks, right? If they are using the Power BI as a reporting solution, then they do not want to put their data on the cloud. So in that scenario, they'll be able to use Power BI Report Server. All right. We can design the Power BI reports or the dashboards for mobile apps as well. You can use the Power BI in your mobile or in your tab devices as well. You can just easily go to Play Store, or in your iPhone or in your Android phone, you can easily download the app, and then the same reports and dashboard you can easily access within your mobile device as well. Power BI Publisher makes Power BI a very powerful tool, because Excel itself is a widely used tool, right? And when it is integrated with Power BI, then it doubles the power of Excel. In the report builder, we have much more flexibility where we can do some development, like if you want to design any paginated report, right, where I want to fix the number of records per page, right? And these reports we call pixel perfect reports. So using the report builder, we can design the reports like invoices, receipts, delivery notes, right? So such kind of reports we can easily design with the help of report builder. Another tool we have, Power BI Embedded. Power BI Embedded basically is a programmatical approach which helps us to call the Power BI APIs, and with the help of APIs we can easily integrate Power BI in other applications. Fine. Any question, guys, so far? Before we proceed on the pricing part of the Power BI licenses, if you have any doubt or any question, please feel free to post into the chat window in the question panel. Next, we see Power BI pricing. In the pricing, there are different licensing structures for the Power BI, right? For example, Power BI free. This is a one license type. Another is Power BI Pro and the Power BI Premium. So basically, Power BI comes with three options for us. Either I can use the Power BI being a free user, or being a pro user, or being a premium user. So depending on your usage, you can choose here. Power BI free is not recommended for the production. It's only for the learning purpose, or if you want to explore the Power BI, or if you want to just do any POC or any research on the Power BI, right? So for that purpose, you can use the Power BI free user. For signing in into the Power BI service, you should have a Microsoft credential, right? You need a Microsoft user ID and password. Or maybe you can try your organization, your Outlook user ID and password. Using that, you can easily use the Power BI as a free user, right? So Power BI free is a per user license. Pro is also per user license, but premium is a capacity based. So let's say if in your organization, if more than 1,000 users, 2,000 users are using the Power BI, then rather than purchasing the per user licenses, you can purchase the capacity. Capacity seems something like a bulk license, right? All the supported data sources are available for any kind of license. And in the free license, we cannot publish or we cannot share the reports or the workspace with any user. Why? Because it is not recommended for the production. It is just for your self use. You cannot share anything using a free user. So the most popular license based on the usage and the considering other things as well, that is Power BI Pro, right? So Power BI Pro gives you everything, whatever you want, and with a very minimum cost, like $9.99, right? So here you see, if you want to use Power BI Pro, then you have to just pay $9.99 per month, while the premium comes with a little bit extra, not little bit, it's too much actually if you compare it with Pro. It comes with $4,999 per month, right? But this is for the bulk users. Means if you have more than 1,000 users, then you can go with this option. Otherwise, the Pro is best. The storage limit is 10 GB for free and for Pro as well. But in case of Power BI Premium, it becomes 100 TB, which is too large. But Pro is also comes with another benefit, that is this 10 GB is for per workspace. Let's say you have 5 workspaces, so for each workspace the limit would be 10 GB. Okay, so let's say you have a finance workspace, sales workspace, services workspace. So for each workspace you will be having the 10 GB of space. And in case, first of all, 10 GB is too much, you are not going to full it. Okay, in case if it is going to full, then no problem, you have the flexibility, you can create another workspace anytime. Okay, next we have the data refresh rate. Using Pro, you can refresh 8 times in a day maximum, and with Premium you can refresh up to 48 times in a day. Export functionality support all the licenses, whether you want to export in PowerPoint, PDF, CSV, or Excel. Using any of the license, you can do this export, right? So this is all about the pricing part of Power BI. We have 5 building blocks of the Power BI: visualization, reports, data sets, tiles, and the dashboard. Using these building blocks, we can develop visual appealing dashboards in Power BI easily. What are these building blocks basically? These building blocks are nothing but just like the components of, or we can say the contents which we can create in the Power BI. If I go to the previous slide again, within Power BI, we can create the visualization, tiles, reports, data sets, dashboards, and everything. So these things basically we can create in the Power BI, and with the perfect combination of all these 5 things, we can deliver a best solution for our business users. Next, we have the architecture of Power BI. So let's try to understand this architecture of Power BI. Here we have all these data sources, right? So all these data sources are like Salesforce, Azure, it could be your SharePoint, Excel, or Azure database, MySQL, Oracle database, IBM, whatever it is, right? More than 100 plus data sources are supported by Power BI. Then you load all this data in the Power BI desktop. In Power BI desktop, you do all your data transformation, data cleansing, and then you do a data visualization. That data visualization you publish on the Power BI service, right? So here on the Power BI service, you will publish your reports. From the Power BI service, your users will be able to access your reports and the dashboard. We have a data gateway, right? This data gateway helps us to refresh the data here in the report, right? So it will just create a connection with the data source, and between your data set and the data source, data will be refreshing depending on the frequency you set, right? Well, let's say you want to refresh after every 1 hour, every 2 hours. So depending on that, you can enable the data refresh in your reports. All right. After that, your data would be loaded on the Power BI service. And if you want, you can create the mobile-based dashboards as well. And these mobile-based dashboard you can access in the mobile devices or in the tab devices, right? For designing the mobile or tab devices dashboards, you don't need to write any script or any programming language, right? So most of the things in Power BI are just on the right clicks and based on the drag and drop functionality. Okay, so that's why it has been said by Microsoft employee, right? I will share some of his blogs and some of his video references. He says like Power BI is a nice tool and it gives you a clicky and drag it droppy experience. Means it's not that much complicated, like you have to write some script, some programming language, or any coding you need in it. Nothing, you don't need to do any kind of coding in it. Everything is just like do some clicks, drag and drop, and your report or dashboard is ready in Power BI. That's why it's very user friendly tool. All right. Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop is our main development tool or a development application which we use for getting the data, transforming the data, and visualizing the data. All these things we do within the Power BI desktop tool. Now I will tell you how you can do the installation of the Power BI desktop. Before installation, let's see how we can download it. For downloading the Power BI desktop, either you have to log in the Power BI service with your Microsoft credentials, right? But if you do not have the Microsoft credentials, then no worries. You can just Google, right? Search Power BI desktop download. You will get an option to download it. And the download, after downloading, the installation process is very simple. Just do next, and the finish. The Power BI desktop will be installed in your machine easily. Now I will show you demo of how we can install the Power BI desktop in the machines, right? All right. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can just post into the question panel. So now you can just search Power BI desktop download. Here you go onto the Power BI official website. Here you see advanced download options. There you will get an option to download it. Here you will have two options. So depending on the operating system you are using, if you are using 64-bit operating system, then you have to choose this version. Or if you are using 32-bit operating system, then you have to choose this one. Most of the time we use the 64-bit OS. So we'll select in this case Power BI desktop setup 64-bit. Click on next. And now the Power BI desktop will start download here like this, right? So it's around 298 MB application, right? So once this application will be downloaded, then you have to do the installation of it. Okay, so it's almost completed. Now I will show you that how we can perform the installation process. For installing it, you should have at least a 4 GB of RAM and a Windows 7 or the later versions like Windows 8, Windows 10 or Windows Server. So now let's start the installation process. So I open this setup file. After opening the setup file, it will take few time to compute the space and the other activities behind the scenes. Then start the next. As I have already installed the Power BI desktop, so it is asking me to repair that. Okay, so in this case, what I'm doing here, I'm going to repair it, means going to reinstall it. So in your case as well, you will be doing similar, just following the next, and then finally you will get an option to finish this setup. Installation process is quite easy. And Microsoft release the Power BI desktop updates every month, right? Because Microsoft is making very frequent changes in order to deliver best functionality and features to the developers and the consultants. So it's been completed. Once I finish it, then I can start the Power BI desktop here. So Power BI desktop will be installed in your machine. Then you will start this application. In the beginning, it may take few seconds to load all the components of Power BI desktop behind the scenes, but when you will open it second time, then it will be very fast. All right, so here your Power BI desktop. Now on this Power BI desktop, you can perform a lot of operations, how to start on it, how to work on it, what are the different features, functionalities we have, and how we can design the powerful reporting solution with the help of Power BI desktop. So all these things we'll be learning. All right, so that was a demo on the installation process of Power BI desktop. Now let's say creating a report. How do we create the report in the Power BI? All right, creating reports in Power BI basically start with connecting to the data sources, right? So first of all, you have to connect the data source. Once you connect the data source, then you have to do the transformation on your data, and then you have to start the visualization process. So these three simple steps you have to perform in the Power BI desktop basically. All right, connecting to the data sources means you have n number of data sources. Like it could be a database connection, it could be Azure database, or any kind of data source you can use in Power BI to connect. On top of that database, on top of that data source, you can perform a lot of data transformation operations. So we can say a lot of data modeling operations like fill, transfers, query merge, query append, pivot, unpivot, group by. There are n number of options. Then you do the visualization with the help of charts, tables, tree maps, geographical maps, cards, and some other custom visuals as well. Right now, let's see a quick report. Right. All right. So now let's see how do we create a report in the Power BI desktop. Right. In the Power BI desktop, first of all, we take a data set. So for the data set, we just go here, getting the data from the Excel as a source, and I'm considering currently Excel as a source. Considering the Excel as a data source, now I will be loading the data here in the Power BI desktop. So let's say I need this orders data. So I'm loading this orders data in the Power BI desktop. Quickly, it will create a connection. Currently, I'm just missing few of the, I'm skipping a few of the steps which are also needed, like data transformation and all. So once we'll be learning in detail, then I will teach you each and everything in the detail how we can do different transformations based on the different scenarios, right? So taking the scenarios, taking examples, then we'll be learning everything. Now here, it's once you get the data in Power BI Desktop, then the next thing is start the visualization of your data. So simply you have to do the drag and drop from the visual. So let's say here you have a number of visuals. So I want to add this bar chart on my report. So quickly I will just add this bar chart here, and in this bar chart, I want to show total sales by the product, or let's say I want to show total sales by country. So I will just pull the country column, drag and drop, and the sales column, drag and drop. There you go. That's it. It's very easy. You don't need to do any coding or any scripting for it. And if you want to change the visualization type, easily you can do that by just changing the visuals from here, right? If you want to increase the size, if you want to change the colors of these bars and everything, whatever you want, everything you can do easily, right? So let's say instead of the blue color, you need this color, you can change it, right? And here you can apply the condition formatting, like based on the numbers, based on the sales amount, you want to change the color of the bars. That also possible, where you can apply a conditional formatting. In the conditional formatting, let's say I want to show the lowest value with the lighter shade and the greatest value with a dark shade. And when I click OK, here I need to choose based on which column I want to apply the conditional formatting. So based on the sales, when I OK it, you look at this now. So as the sales numbers are increasing, the color is also increased. It's becoming a dark shade, right? As it is decreasing, color is light. Okay. Here you can add a donut chart. In this visualization, you can show the category and the sales. So if you want to show the total sales by the category, easily you can display your data, right? And let's say here you want to add another visual, like you want to show the sales trend, right? So easily you can just add a line chart and you can show your sales by order date. And you can just change it to the order date hierarchy, where you can show this trend of your sales, how it is up and down of your sales amount, right? Here, if you want, you can add a quick report name or like a dashboard name, whatever you want to add here. For that, you can just pull out a quick report name here, like this is your sales analysis report, right? So you just pull it here like this, and you can move this one here. That's great. Fine. So now if you want to add, you can do a lot of things here. Like if you want to add a image as your company logo, you want to add that, easily you can upload any image here, like I do here. Let's say, for example, this is the company logo which I want to add here. There are a lot of options, basically a lot of features. So once we'll be learning in the detail, then I'll explain you each and every functionality in the detail. So it's in the red and in the bold color, and color I'm changing here. Let's say this red color for it. All right, so quickly I just created this report, and now this report I want to publish on Power BI service, because in this Power BI desktop, I create the reports only. I do the data visualization. Once my data visualization is done, then I can use it for sharing it with my colleagues from the Power BI service. Okay, so one more thing. Let's say I want to add a date range slicer here. So that I just add a slicer here. In this slicer now I want to add, let's say, a date. And this date, here I got this date, and now I can easily do the sliding of the date, start date and end date. So based on that, data will be appearing in my visuals, right? So that's very user friendly. Now let's say I want to publish this report. So simply I will just save this report first. I'm saving it with demo sales report. I save this report in my machine. And after that, I want to publish it on the cloud. For that, I just go into the Power BI homepage. Then I click on the publish button. From the publish button here, I have to choose the workspace, in which workspace I want to publish it. What are the workspaces and all that we'll be learning. Don't worry about it. I'm just showing you end-to-end life cycle of a Power BI report. So here the report is published on the Power BI. Now let's log in into the Power BI service to see how it looks like. Here I have the Power BI service URL where I can sign in with my credentials. If you have the credentials, then it's good. Otherwise, we provide the demo credentials, the trial licenses to you so that you can learn and you can explore the Power BI functionality without any issue. Right, so here I have logged in into the Power BI service. Now if I navigate to my report, that report here I can see demo sales report. This is a report which I created just now. Right, if I make it on the full screen, there you can see this report, how quickly we created this report, and it's very easy to read, to understand, to quickly do the data analysis on top of it. Whatever we want, we can easily do it. Even if you want, we can highlight any particular visual. If you are making the presentation, you can set the focus of the audiences on any particular visualization. Or if you want to do the sorting of the visuals, then easily you can do that. Or if let's say you want to export the data in Excel, that is also possible. Just select any visual, there you have an option to export the data in Excel or in the CSV format, right? If you want, you can take this report in the PDF or in the PowerPoint as well. You can export this report in PowerPoint, PDF, or you can export it into the Excel as well. If you want, you can integrate this report with your teams in CRM, in ERP solutions, and any other application. Fine. So that's a quick overview of a report development and how do we do the publishing of a report over the Power BI service. All right, guys. So that's a quick overview of Power BI, what we have and how do we work with the Power BI. Right, there are some other advanced things, advanced tools, advanced functionalities also we have in the Power BI that we'll be learning in the sessions. All right. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed it.